Hello there, dear friends. It truly is good to be able to connect with you again today, sharing this time together. Please, do make yourselves comfortable. Find that cozy spot where you can relax and just listen for a little while. And as we always do before diving into our topic, just that quick, essential reminder. Think of this conversation like friends sharing interesting articles or health news they come across. I'm here sharing information based on general knowledge and widely available research, but I'm not a doctor or a medical professional giving advice specifically tailored for you. Your health is such a precious asset, truly unique to you, and the safest, most effective approach is always to have open conversations with your own trusted doctor or healthcare provider. They understand your personal health history, your current situation, and can offer guidance that is truly personalized and safe. Please make them your first point of call for any health questions or before making any significant changes to your diet or lifestyle. And as always, let's keep our comment section a supportive space for sharing thoughts and encouragement, remembering not to post any private health information. Thank you so much for helping us maintain that respectful environment. Now, today we're going to touch upon a subject that might, at first glance, seem rather surprising, perhaps even a little bit worrying. We're constantly reminded, and rightly so, about the wonderful benefits of eating fruits, aren't we? They're often called nature's candy. Beautiful, colorful, naturally sweet treats. They're absolutely packed with essential vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants. Health guidelines universally encourage us to include plenty of fruits in our daily diets for overall wellness, disease prevention, and just feeling good. We see them praised everywhere, from doctors' offices to magazine articles. And for the most part, that advice is absolutely sound. Fruits are nutritional powerhouses. But let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself feeling just a little bit confused sometimes by the sheer volume of health information out there? One day you read something is incredibly good for you. The next day you hear a caution about it. Or perhaps, more personally, have you ever worried if a food that's generally considered healthy, like a specific type of fruit, might not actually be the best choice for your unique circumstances? Especially as we gather more birthdays under our belts, perhaps navigating certain health conditions, or managing multiple medications. It's a common feeling. You want to do the right thing. You want to eat healthily. You want to nourish your body well. But sometimes it feels like navigating a maze trying to figure out what healthy truly means for you right now, at this stage of life. It can be genuinely frustrating, can't it? You diligently try to follow good advice, choosing fruits and vegetables, aiming for that balanced plate. But then maybe you experience something unexpected. Perhaps your blood sugar levels react more strongly than you thought they would after eating a certain fruit, or maybe you read a confusing article online that makes you second-guess your choices. There's also the complexity of medications. As we get older, it's quite common to be taking one or more medications for various conditions, and sometimes we don't fully realize how even seemingly innocent foods can potentially interact with those medications in significant ways. That worry, the worry of unknowingly doing something counterproductive or even potentially harmful despite your best intentions to be healthy, can be quite stressful. So, what if I told you today that for a few very common, very popular, and genuinely beloved fruits many of us eat regularly without a second thought, a little bit of extra awareness or caution might actually be quite wise, particularly for those of us navigating our 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond? What if I suggested that, depending on your individual health status and any medications you might be taking, understanding how these specific fruits work in the body could be really important? It sounds counterintuitive. I know. How could nature's perfect foods possibly need a cautionary note? Please don't misunderstand. This isn't about creating fear or telling you to stop enjoying the bounty of nature. It's about empowerment through knowledge. It's about understanding that sometimes, even perfectly healthy foods have potent natural compounds that require thoughtful consideration in certain specific contexts. So, I invite you to stick with me today, with an open mind and a calm heart, as we gently explore why sometimes even the healthiest choices deserve a closer look to ensure they are truly the safest and best choices for you right now. If navigating health advice feels confusing sometimes, drop a comment. I understand. Subscribe and stay tuned as we carefully unpack this important topic. So, let's gently move into what we'll be discussing carefully and thoughtfully today. As we established, the world of health information can sometimes feel confusing, especially when it concerns foods we generally consider to be pillars of a healthy diet, like fruits. Today, we're going to focus our attention on three very specific, very popular fruits. Fruits that many of us enjoy regularly, perhaps even daily. Now, I want to acknowledge right up front that the title we're using today includes some strong, attention-grabbing words like warning and potentially even dangerous. I understand completely that hearing those words associated with common fruits like the ones we'll discuss shortly, can sound immediately alarming, perhaps even unbelievable or like unnecessary fear-mongering. And I want to assure you, right here at the start, that the goal of our conversation today is absolutely not to scare you away from eating fruit or to make you feel anxious about your food choices. Far from it. Fruits, in general, are incredibly beneficial, truly vital gifts from nature. They are packed with essential vitamins that support our immune system, minerals crucial for bone health and nerve function, dietary fiber that aids digestion and keeps us feeling full, and powerful antioxidants that help protect our bodies from cellular damage. Eating a variety of fruits is consistently linked to better health outcomes and a reduced risk of many chronic diseases. So please, let that fundamental truth remain clear in our minds. Fruits are overwhelmingly good for us and an essential part of a healthy diet. Why the strong words in the title? Then, sometimes, in the busy world of online information, a stronger headline is used simply to signal that the topic being discussed warrants careful attention, especially when it relates to potential health interactions that people might not be aware of. Our intention today is not to cause alarm, but rather to raise awareness and provide clear, understandable information about specific situations where these three popular fruits might require a little extra caution, careful moderation, or, most importantly, a direct conversation with your doctor or pharmacist. This is particularly relevant for those of us in our senior years, as our bodies change, and we might be managing existing health conditions or taking medications that weren't part of our lives when we were younger. So, what we'll do is look at each of these three fruits individually. For each one, we'll explore why a note of caution is sometimes advised, explaining the reasons in a simple, straightforward way. We'll talk about potential interactions with common medications, or how certain natural compounds in these fruits might affect specific health conditions like kidney function or blood sugar control in ways that require mindfulness. We'll aim to demystify why these cautions exist for certain people or circumstances. Following our discussion of three fruits, I'll share a very helpful bonus tip about a simple strategy for enjoying fruit in a way that can actually help stabilize blood sugar levels. A useful tip for almost everyone. And finally, to bring it all together, I'll share a brief, relatable story about someone navigating these very choices, illustrating how becoming informed led to safer, healthier habits without giving up the enjoyment of fruit altogether. Now, I can still imagine some of you thinking, dangerous fruits? It just doesn't sound right. Fruits are natural, they come from the earth. How could they possibly be dangerous? And that line of thinking is completely logical. You are absolutely right to question such a strong statement. Let's be perfectly clear. It's not that these fruits suddenly become toxic or poisonous. They remain whole, natural foods with inherent nutritional value. The potential issue, the reason for our careful discussion today, lies not in the fruit itself being inherently bad, but rather in how specific, potent natural compounds within that fruit can interact with other things going on in our bodies, particularly common medications that many seniors rely on, or how they might significantly affect certain pre-existing health conditions. Think of it like this. A key is a perfectly normal, useful object, but if it happens to fit and turn the wrong lock unexpectedly, it can cause a problem. Similarly, certain compounds in these fruits can sometimes interfere with how medications are absorbed or broken down in the body, potentially making the medication less effective or, more worryingly, causing it to build up to unsafe levels. Or, in other cases, the high concentration of certain minerals or natural sugars in these fruits might pose a challenge for individuals whose bodies have difficulty processing them, such as those with compromised kidney function or diabetes. It truly is all about the context, the individual's health status, the medications they take, and sometimes even the quantity consumed. The information we're sharing today is designed to be easy to understand, practical, and most importantly, to empower you to have more informed conversations with your healthcare team. Think of this video as a prompt, a starting point for you to perhaps ask your doctor or pharmacist specific questions like, is it okay for me to eat this specific fruit with the medications I'm currently taking? Or, given my specific health condition, do I need to be mindful about my intake of this specific fruit? That dialogue is crucial. So please, take a nice, calming breath. Let go of any initial alarm the title might have sparked. Grab that comforting cup of tea or water, settle in, and let's explore this important topic thoughtfully, calmly, and responsibly together, focusing on awareness and safe practices. Let's begin our careful discussion with the first of these popular fruits, one that many people truly enjoy for its distinctive, bright, tangy, slightly bitter flavor. It's often seen as a refreshing start of the day, perhaps sliced in half and eaten with a special spoon, or enjoyed as a vibrant juice. We're talking about grapefruit. It certainly has a healthy reputation, known for being a good source of vitamin C, which supports our immune system, and providing other beneficial antioxidants. And truthfully, for many individuals who aren't taking specific types of medication, enjoying grapefruit in moderation can be a perfectly fine and healthy choice as part of a balanced diet. However, and this is the vital point we need to understand clearly today, grapefruit, and this includes both the whole fruit itself and its juice, contain particular natural chemical compounds. These compounds have been found to significantly, and in some cases, quite dangerously, interfere with the way your body metabolizes or processes a surprisingly large number of very common medications. This isn't just a small, subtle effect. It's a well-documented interaction that healthcare professionals are very aware of and take seriously. It's particularly important for us seniors to know about simply because, as we age, we are statistically more likely to be taking one or more of the medications that can be affected by grapefruit. So, let's try to understand what actually happens inside our bodies when this interaction occurs, keeping it simple. Within our liver, and also lining the walls of our small intestine, are countless microscopic workers called enzymes. These enzymes are like tiny biological catalysts, responsible for facilitating all sorts of chemical reactions. One of their incredibly important jobs is to break down medications after they have circulated through our system and done what they were supposed to do. This breakdown process is crucial for properly processing the drugs and eventually eliminating them from our bodies. There's one particular family of enzymes. Scientists often refer to it by a technical name, CYP3A4, but remembering that isn't important. That acts like a major highway, a key metabolic pathway, responsible for breaking down literally dozens and dozens of different commonly used drugs. Now, here's the critical part. Specific natural compounds present in grapefruit, substances called furanocoumarins, act as powerful inhibitors of the specific enzyme system. Essentially, they shut it down. Imagine this enzyme system is like a dedicated toll booth on a busy highway that certain medications absolutely must pass through to be processed correctly by your body. Consuming grapefruit or drinking grapefruit juice is like putting up a large, unmovable roadblock right in front of that essential toll booth. The enzyme's activity is significantly reduced, effectively blocked, and this blocking effect isn't just temporary. It can last for quite a while, potentially up to 24 hours or even longer after you consume the grapefruit product. What happens then when this crucial metabolic pathway is blocked? Well, when the enzyme that's supposed to break down a specific medication is out of commission, that medication can't be processed and cleared from your body at the normal, expected rate. Instead of moving through the system as your doctor intended when he prescribed the dose, the drug starts to accumulate. It builds up in your bloodstream to levels much higher than anticipated. Think back to our highway analogy. With the main toll booth closed, the traffic, the medication, backs up dramatically behind it, leading to a much higher concentration than usual. When you have significantly higher levels of medication circulating in your body than intended, the risk of experiencing side effects increases substantially. Not only that, but the side effects themselves can become much more severe, potentially reaching levels that are harmful or even toxic. It's almost like you've unintentionally taken a double or a triple dose of your medication, simply by consuming grapefruit alongside it. The specific risks depend heavily on the medication involved. For instance, With certain widely used statin drugs for managing cholesterol, this interaction can dangerously increase the risk of serious muscle damage, a condition called rhabdomyolysis. For some common blood pressure medications, like certain calcium channel blockers, the buildup caused by grapefruit could lead to your blood pressure dropping too low, potentially causing dizziness, lightheadedness, or even fainting. With other affected drugs, the interaction might lead to excessive drowsiness, potentially dangerous heart rhythm disturbances, kidney damage, or a range of other significant problems. And the list of medications known to have this interaction with grapefruit is truly extensive and worryingly includes many drugs frequently prescribed to older adults. This is an exhaustive list, but it gives you an idea of the range. It includes certain widely used statins for cholesterol, like atorvastatin, levastatin, simvastatin. You might know them by brand names like Lipitor, Mevacor, Zocor, numerous blood pressure medications, including some common calcium channel blockers like nifedipine, felodipine, amlodipine. Some medications used to treat irregular heartbeats like amiodarone. Certain anti-anxiety drugs, such as buspirone and potentially some benzodiazepines. Some critical immunosuppressant drugs that people take after organ transplants or for managing autoimmune diseases, like cyclosporin or tacrolimus. Even some common antihistamines used for allergies, like fexofenadine. Although interestingly, grapefruit might decrease the absorption of this one rather than increasing levels. The list goes on, including some drugs for erectile dysfunction, certain antibiotics, and others. Because this list is so long, includes so many common medications, and is always being updated as new drugs become available, it's simply not safe to guess or rely on memory. Furthermore, how strongly this interaction affects someone can vary based on individual genetics, the specific medication and dose, and even how much grapefruit was consumed. But this variability just underscores a need for universal caution, as you can't easily predict the outcome for yourself. It's also crucial to be aware that this warning applies not only to the fresh fruit, but equally to grapefruit juice, even seemingly small amounts. Additionally, some experts advise caution with other closely related citrus fruits that might contain the same interfering compounds, such as Seville oranges, often found in marmalades, pomelos, and tangelos. Therefore, the clear message, the crucial caution we must take away, is that the interaction between grapefruit and related citrus and numerous common medications can be genuinely serious, carrying potentially harmful health risks. This leads us directly to the most important practical step you can take. If you take any prescription medication at all, or even if you regularly take certain over-the-counter drugs, it is absolutely essential that you have a specific, direct conversation about this with your doctor, or perhaps even more conveniently for this particular question, with your pharmacist. They are medication experts. You need to ask them explicitly, preferably with your list of medications handy. Is it safe for me to eat grapefruit or drink grapefruit juice while I am taking these specific medications? Please, do not assume it's safe just because you haven't noticed an obvious problem in the past, or because you know someone else who takes a similar drug and still eats grapefruit. Your individual situation, your specific medication list, and your personal health factors all matter immensely. And finally, let's reiterate the vital safety note. This check-in with your healthcare provider isn't just a suggestion. It's critical for your safety. For many of the medications that have a significant interaction with grapefruit, this is typically not a situation where simply reducing your intake or consuming it at a different time of day is sufficient, because the blocking effect on that crucial enzyme can persist for 24 hours or even longer. Even infrequent grapefruit consumption can pose a risk with certain drugs. Therefore, for many of these interacting medications, the standard medical advice is complete avoidance of grapefruit and related products entirely. Please, treat this potential interaction with the seriousness it deserves. Protect yourself by having that simple but vital conversation with your doctor or pharmacist. Knowing this doesn't make grapefruit inherently bad, but it highlights that it's a food requiring careful respect and truly informed choices based on your personal medication regimen and health status. Next up, the ever-popular banana. Bananas are convenient, tasty, and famously rich in potassium, a vital mineral for nerve and muscle function, including the heart. For most healthy people, this potassium is beneficial. However, The caution arises for seniors with kidney problems or those taking certain medications that also increase potassium levels, like some blood pressure drugs, ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or potassium-sparing diuretics. Healthy kidneys filter excess potassium, but impaired kidneys can struggle, leading to dangerously high levels hyperkalemia, which can affect heart rhythm. Think of potassium needing to be in a careful balance. Too much can overload a sensitive system. The caution: high potassium risk in specific contexts. Practical step: if you have kidney disease or take medications that affect potassium, discuss your banana and other high potassium food intake with your doctor. They can advise on safe amounts for you. Also, for those managing diabetes, bananas are higher in sugar/carbs than some fruits, so portion control is important. Safety note: for seniors with healthy kidneys and not on interfering meds, moderate banana intake is usually fine. It's context-specific. Our third area of caution covers dried fruits, like raisins, dates, apricots, and fruit juices. These are popular and often seen as healthy snacks or drinks. Dried fruits offer fiber and nutrients, while juice provides vitamins. However, the caution here relates primarily to their highly concentrated sugar content and, in the case of juice, often a lack of fiber. When fruit is dried, the water is removed, leaving the sugars much more concentrated in a smaller portion. Juice often removes the beneficial fiber, allowing the natural sugars to hit your bloodstream very quickly. Think of it like squeezing the sugar from several whole fruits into one small glass. The caution: can rapidly spike blood sugar levels and contribute significant calories/sugar. Practical step: for seniors managing blood sugar, diabetes/prediabetes, or watching their weight, portion control is crucial. Opt for whole fruits far more often. If eating dried fruit, keep servings very small, e.g., a couple of tablespoons. Limit juice intake significantly or dilute it. Check labels for added sugars. Safety note: prioritize whole fruits for fiber and slower sugar release. Here's a helpful bonus tip for enjoying fruit more wisely. Pair it with protein or healthy fat. Eating fruit alongside something like a small handful of nuts, a piece of cheese, a dollop of plain yogurt, or some nut butter helps slow down the absorption of the fruit's natural sugars into your bloodstream. This leads to more stable blood sugar levels and can help you feel fuller for longer. Imagine that crisp apple slice paired with satisfying slice of cheddar, delicious and balanced. My neighbor finds having a few almonds with her afternoon fruit snack prevents that energy dip later. Try this simple pairing strategy. Let me tell you about Eleanor, 72. She loved fruit, but was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and also took medication for high blood pressure. She was confused. Her doctor said eat fruit, but her blood sugar often spiked afterwards, and she'd read something vague about grapefruit. Feeling frustrated, she had a detailed chat with her doctor and a dietitian. She learned why portion control with fruits like bananas was key for her blood sugar, discovered the importance of pairing fruit with protein, and critically, her pharmacist confirmed her specific blood pressure medication meant she needed to strictly avoid grapefruit. Empowered with this knowledge, Eleanor didn't give up fruit. She started enjoying smaller portions of berries with yogurt or half a banana with peanut butter, and carefully read labels. She felt much more in control of her blood sugar and relieved to avoid a dangerous medication interaction. She still enjoys nature's sweetness, just more mindfully and safely, feeling healthier for it. So, we've carefully looked at 3 popular fruits: grapefruit, bananas, and dried fruits/juices. Not to label them as bad, but to highlight specific contexts where caution is wise for seniors, potential medication interactions, especially grapefruit, potassium considerations with kidney issues or certain drugs, bananas, and concentrated sugars impacting blood sugar and calories, dried/juiced. It's all about awareness and informed choices made with your doctor. What's one small action you can take? Perhaps check your medication list specifically regarding grapefruit, or make a note to discuss potassium levels with your doctor at your next visit if relevant, or simply become more mindful of portion sizes for juice and dried fruit. Please share your thoughts below. Did any of this information surprise you? How do you navigate eating fruit wisely? And crucially, please discuss any concerns raised today with your healthcare provider. If this careful discussion was helpful, a thumbs up helps others find it. Subscribe for more thoughtful health insights for seniors. And please share this video with anyone who might benefit from this important awareness. Thank you for joining this important conversation. Stay informed, stay safe, and take wonderful care. See you next time. Bye for now.